on one.
BBC Radio Manchester and BBC Radio Lancashire.
It's 6:07. Now, Maplin's, Toys R Us and Mothercare, just three of the big stores which have pretty much vanished from the high street in recent times. So what do these closures mean for Asian retailers? Many face similar issues, or how do they survive if they do? Well, let's explore this now with Naeem Arif, a business consultant who's worked on some of the biggest brands in the country, such as BA and Jaguar Land Rover. Welcome to the programme. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Well, thank you for taking time out to speak to us, first of all, Naeem. So with pretty much every week that goes by, we are hearing about another major closure of a big name brand. Why do you think that's happening in your experience?
So we do a lot of work on this. I'm part of the Midlands Retail Forum, and we put it down to three things. We say that, first of all, for every bad news story, there's a good news story. So we talk about Mothercare, M&S, some of the other brands, but there's always great stories about Next, Primark, McDonald's. And what's happened is actually what people do, why they do, and how they do has changed. And people are now very conscious about having a brand themselves, so they're very conscious about what they wear in terms of what that says for them. We talk a lot about the fact that shopping isn't really just a necessity anymore. People go out and it's how they socialise and unwind. Mm-hmm. And also importantly, I think, how they shop has changed. People sometimes want something right now. That's where Amazon wins, or next overnight delivery wins. They do click and collect. They don't want to wait in queues. So
yeah, do you think that's the main influencer though? Those people who are now shopping online and therefore don't need to pop out. It's at their own convenience.
So the stats tell us, and we work with the Office of National Statistics stats. So we use a reputable source. It's only about 20% of shopping is actually completely done online. You've still got a lot of people for certain products who want to try something on, touch it and feel it. Granted, a lot of things like, maybe stationery or electronic goods, people will buy online, but there's definitely a market where people have to go in, they want to try it, they want to feel the brand or the product, and they want to feel part of it before they make a decision.
Yeah, I still feel the same with anything electronic as well, really, if I'm honest, because you don't get that satisfaction you really get when you're in the store and you have questions that you want to ask people about the product you're going to buy. And whereas online you have to then do a separate search to see whether that's any good and read all the customer reviews, and it's quite time consuming. Whereas if you go into the store, pop in, ask the questions that you want to ask and buy the product, and out you come.
Yeah, and I think what you see is brands like Argos are doing really well at this. They've got a combination of check something online, book it, pop into the store and pick it up. And then you see Argos are like combining with Sainsbury's, so you can do your shopping and get something from Argos at the same time. So there's a lot of really good news out there, and particularly for Asian businesses as well. I mean, it's not all bad news. There's a lot of really exciting brands coming up. I mean, I was scribbling a few down whilst I was listening to the music. I mean, in Birmingham, we've got some great restaurants, Zen Metro, Maribel's, brands like Caddy, Junaid Jamshed. These guys are doing some really good stuff online.
Well, yeah, indeed. Some of those brands are also here in the Northwest as well, doing quite well for themselves. But do you think Asian stores are able to be protected against the current climate at this stage, or do you think they're suffering and not very good about talking about their problems?
So I think they've got the same problem everyone else has, and what you've really got to do is you've got to ask yourself, why is someone going to come and buy from me? Why are they going to come in store? That's the compelling question you've got to ask yourself. What's special about you? Why are they going to come? I mean, we did a survey last year for the Retail Forum, and I think it was about 68% of people said they will go shopping at their local Asian high street because of that personal service, because someone's going to look after them, because they know someone. And I think that's the thing you really have to get invested in. We call that the customer experience. You've got to give that complete experience, and that way you'll never have a problem, I think.
Now, it's all this hype about Black Friday. Tell us how this came about for those who don't know and think, well, we hear about it, but we're not quite sure where it came from. This tradition, is it from America?
Yeah, so it's an American tradition. What actually used to happen is after Thanksgiving, which is a big festival, then the families would give money out to the kids and presents and whatever, and people would go shopping with that. Like we have Boxing Day. And what used to happen is that was always known as a black day. In other words, even if you had a bad day before in business and you had a red day, in other words, you didn't make a profit, you'd always have a black day on Friday. So the books would always be positive. That's how it came about, and it's been about 10 years, I think, now in the UK.
Right.
Traditionally, you get a lot of hype at a lot of electrical stores, but I think particularly if you're an Asian business and you want to get into this, people are actually out looking to buy. So have a Black Friday sale on, have a Black Friday offer. We call it a doorbuster. So it's got to be something
I can see why.
compelling. Yeah, it's got to be something so compelling that you're going to get a queue of people. You put it in the middle or the back of the store, they'll rush to that, will buy it, there should be a short supply, but what will happen is then you want to obviously sell them the other 90% you've got on the store as well, and that's the way you've got to plan for it.
So, in a sense, are we really getting a bargain? I mean, apart from the one-off items that you see and they've slashed the price by 70% or something, do we really get a bargain on that Friday?
I think you do.
With some of the other items that are perhaps not, on top of their list.
Yeah, exactly. But I think you do. But what clever stores will do, if you've got a sale on which lasts forever, then there's no rush to buy.
There's quite a few of those stores, aren't they? Sale every other week.
Always got a sale on. But particularly Black Friday, what you've got to do is you've got to have a limited supply. You've got to tell people this item will be on sale. It's today at £10. Next week it's going to be at £1. So a limited number of supply, and you've really got to be ready. And that's for restaurants as well. Restaurants don't think that they don't take part in this. I mean, they put offers on as well. It tends to be a very busy day when people are out shopping. They want to buy food as well. So everyone can get involved in this.
And, of course, we've got the elections coming up, and Brexit is a major factor in all this. How is that affecting businesses at this stage?
So businesses, are having a tough time. We all know this. And rather get into that debate, I always say to people, when I speak to business owners, I say, look, go on the confidence. Be confident yourself in what you do, and then your customers will get that confidence. And if you can get people confident, they'll buy, they'll be happy. And I think the thing about Black Friday particularly, it's an opportunity. People will be looking to spend money, because if they've been a bit careful with their money, they'll be looking for offers. So make sure you tell everyone your offer. And it could be something simple, but a lot of people are out there thinking, right, let's get a Black Friday offer, and then they think about what they want to buy. So make sure you've got an offer on. Whatever your business is, make sure you've got an offer on, and you will pick up the people who are out there who are looking for Black Friday offers. Definitely, be positive, and that will pass down throughout your staff and throughout your team.
And do you think people are better shopping online or actually going to the stores for these bargains?
I think it depends what you do. Often you get a really good bargain if you get into store, but depending on the type of business, sometimes you might spend ages loading up your shopping basket, and then the basket crashes, so you do have those problems. But for some people, the Black Friday sales will start at midnight, and you don't particularly want to get out of bed or out of your house, so you will go online. I think it'll be that combination. The most important thing is to do a little bit, as a shopper as well, do a little bit of research. Make a list of the things you want to buy, rather than on the day think, what do I want to buy, and then suddenly you've sort of missed out.
Right, okay. And finally, and very quickly, with everything online at the moment, the future of the high street, is it going to be positive, or is it a downward hill now issue for us? What's going to be the score?
I think it's 100% going to remain. We will have town centres and high streets, but the people who will survive are the ones who make it. You give a shopping experience, and it's got to be experience. It's got to be fast. It's got to be friendly. It's got to be a bit of fun. And the people who do that, they're the ones who are going to win. And the people who don't, they're the ones who are falling away.
All right. Well, Naeem, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you very much for taking time out.
No, thank you for having me.
Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye. There you go. That's Naeem Arif, a business consultant and an entrepreneur, talking about the high street stores and, of course, some of the big names that are closing, and Black Friday as well coming up. Now let's go to some music, and this is Beautiful by Akhil.